Listen, I've already read the DMs. I've already read all the tags and stuff. Everyone's like, oh, Kyrie Irving drops 50 points, and of course, it's a sever the bond late upload. Listen, okay, here's my valid excuse. My valid excuse is that having 5 jobs at the same time finally caught up with me, and I just keep falling asleep after games. That's my fault. I'm just old. That's my fault. Welcome to Nets Republic. It's your man, Sever the Bond. Let's just get to it. This is what y'all want. Let's just get to it. So Kyrie Irving dropped 50 points. Chit 50 points. Shout out to that man. 75% is what that man shot. Now, if it was like 72 or 78 or something along those lines, Jeepers Creepers, look at those peepers. But let's pretend like it's 75. I believe it was 75% from 3, 75% from the field. This man somehow scored the exact number of what he was snubbed on. I haven't made a video on it because there's just been so much turmoil going on that it's like we just haven't had time to discuss it. It's kind of like a couple years back where it's like they like unveiled these throwback New Jersey jerseys, and it's like we just never got a chance to talk about it. It's like we hired Steve Nash and all that stuff. Like there was just so many things to talk about. We never got a chance. We never really talked about Kyrie not making the 75 all-time team. We all have our theories of why he didn't make it, and we all agree that it's nasty. But it's just so ironic that he doesn't make the 75 greatest players group, right? And then proceeds to drop 50 points on 75% efficiency from both fields. I have a friend actually who likes to text me after every Brooklyn Nets loss. Didn't hear from him last night, of course, but that's not here and there. And I believe the last thing I got was when we got annihilated by the Celtics. And it was basically saying KD is carrying the team and Kyrie is trash. And while y'all don't seem to believe that I like Kyrie, like I don't have like 5 of his jerseys, but that's neither here nor there, I was really like triggered by the text message because it's just like, what is this idea that people just think Kyrie is trash? If you don't like his off the court stuff, like there's that. But the idea that his talent level is not what it is baffling to me on multiple occasions. Again, just to shoot my own self bail, my issue with his on the court talent is I don't believe just Kyrie is going to win you multiple games. Now, obviously last night, KD's not out there. Kyrie drops 50. No one else contributes. We don't win this game. But that's not here or there. Not hating. Just trying to back up my previous points. But anyway, no text message from this man whatsoever. Literally off the Achilles heels of this man sending me it's just that Kyrie sucks text message. Nothing whatsoever. Do you know that such further research has been done? And again, these are Twitter stats, so if I'm off, my bad, blame the internet. I feel like Twitter stats is the new, like, if you turn in a college term paper and it's like one of your references is your reference in Wikipedia. I feel like on-camera content when you quote Twitter is like the Wikipedia article, but that's not here and there. But anyway, these are Twitter stats. There have only been 2 people in NBA history who have scored 50 points on 75% shooting. That is Kyrie Irving and Michael Jordan. If I haven't done a good job painting the picture of how elite this man's performance was last night, I feel like he is the E in AEW. That is how elite this man's performance was last night. He is the E. Speaking of which, I believe tonight Jeff Hardy comes back. I need to DVR that. I think Jeff Hardy comes back tonight, but that's not here or there. Anyway, listen. It's some wild stuff going on. It is some wickety wild stuff going on, if you will. Kyrie went off. We won the game. Who did we play? The Hornets. No Gordon Hayward. Just the Hornets. I will say that the matchup of him against Terry Rozier and him against LaMelo Ball was very kind to him, but I won't sit there and say that it's like you put him on like trash defensive coverage, he's gonna go off. I say that because he's a star, not because what else was he supposed to do against that type of coverage, but that's not even there. But that man still played really, really well, and shout out to him for that. Basically how like Jason Tatum takes him to the cleaners every time they play each other. When the matchup is favorable, you better go do stuff like that. And especially with like other individuals out here dropping insane games like that, like Kyrie, remind them dudes who you are. And he's been kind of struggling a little bit too, quiet as kept. Not like struggling as much as Seth Curry was struggling, which again, Seth Curry has a decent game, and it's like, I'm not allowed to sit here and say, oh, you gotta play like trash. Yeah, he had a couple steals, like one, but like, I saw some clanks last night, but I'm not allowed to say he's not God, but that's not good. The people we decide to stand is just always so strange to me. Like, now there's a Seth Curry hive, I can't critique his game, but that's not here there. In terms of the boat going down and to the Titanic example, Kyrie Irving's not letting it happen, basically. Kevin Durant had a really bad night last night as far as offense, so I'm sure he'll snap out of that. He's human. Yes, he's human. That man can have an off game every now and again. I'm not going to throw him down the stairs for that, but Kyrie said enough is enough, and Kyrie was not going to let us lose this game, and it was a pretty back and forth affair until Kyrie just snapped. There was a point in the first quarter, I believe, where I think I heard Ryan, was it Ryan or Ian? I think it was Ryan, where I heard Ryan and Sarah just randomly say Kyrie has 20. And I just kind of like, I looked up from my Chick-fil-A and said, 20 what? 20 minutes already played? Wow, Steve, that's a little rough. And I started doing the math. I'm like, well, there's not 20 minutes in the first quarter. And if you're wondering, this is my like sandwich, right? Don't ask me how I kept it vegan at Chick-fil-A, but that's not because y'all will hate me, but that's not here or there. This is the sandwich I'm pulling. Just wanted to get the mime stuff out of the way, want to get the pantomime stuff out of the way. This is the sandwich, right? So 20 what? 21 points! Huh? This man was like on pace for 60. And I think if he decided to remain as aggressive as he was, who knows how high up that man would have scored. Seriously, he was scoring like that. The man had 20 in the first quarter. Something like that. I mean, he was balling. And the degree, I wouldn't say the degree of difficulty on the shots were insane, because it's like when you got Kevin Durant out there, it's like, you're almost open every time. It was just a matter of Kyrie was hitting the shots. I mean, how many like easy driving kicks did he get? And to Kai's credit, I mean, he's just knocking it down effortlessly. You know, he's not doing the, okay, I have the ball, time to get you off the dribble, take the ankles, get to the... No, just catch and shoot. Knock that stuff down. And with the absence of Joe Harris, with Patty Mills being exhausted, with Seth Curry being, no one wants to say it, but kind of streaky, you know, he's either on fire or he's just clankety-clank. You need someone to step up in the catch-and-shoot aspect of what's going on, and Kyrie was that guy 1,000%. I mean, Kai was shooting. So much so, I don't have much analysis on the other players because I was so distracted by, like, how much is Kyrie going to score? You'll have to excuse me. I know that's not very responsible as a sports analyst, but I was watching the Kyrie show. Even when he didn't have the ball, I was just like, hey, yo, can we get him the ball back? Because I was just in shock. I wanted to see what he was going to do. I was Kyrie watching. I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching the ball on defense. I was Kyrie watching. This man dropped 50. I had to witness that. So much so that when I woke up after I watched the game, I went back and rewatched the third and fourth quarter just to make sure I was really paying attention. Because it's like when he got 50, it's like it registered, oh my God, he scored 50. It's like you're watching the flow of the game and you're watching him score, but it doesn't like click in your mind as it's happening. It's like, what's homie's name? It's like when Montrezl Harrell, right, shoved the jive out of Claxton, right? When you look at the replay the first time, you just immediately say, oh, it's because Claxton pushed him, and you only see the second person. That's not what happened. When you really look back and you're actually like looking on the third look, Montrez shoves Claxton out the paint. Claxton runs up and gets him back. Then Montrez retaliates, even though he started it, and that's what got called. So it wasn't that Claxton started it. The point of what I'm saying is sometimes the first look and the second, like, double take isn't enough. You gotta kind of go back a third time and be like, oh, this man was balling the ball. Like, sometimes it just doesn't hit you the first time. It's like when you listen to an album. For me, I thought Dawn FM was trash the first time I heard it, right? Well, not trash, but I was like, what's he doing? It's so boring. You give it a couple more listens, and it's like a weekend, it's like, oh, he done did it again. Same thing with After Hours. First time it comes out, pandemic just started. I'm like, yo, this is trash. What's Weekend doing? I wanted Starboy Part 2. I wanted Dear Melancholy Part 2. And then you give it a couple more listens, and it's like, oh my God, this is the greatest album ever made. Sometimes you got to give your favorites the benefit of the doubt and really go back and watch. If you haven't at least gotten on YouTube and yes, this is a Kyrie-focused video. The man dropped 50. What else am I supposed to talk about? Go back and look at the highlights on YouTube, or if you DVR'd it or something like that, or if you got a League Pass or something like that and you don't live in the New York area, like, go back and look at that stuff for realsies. Because Kyrie is just going off. It's kind of like when Melo that one time, I want to say 2012, 2013. I just know it's when they had Jason Kidd. It's like that time where Melo had 50 points off of all jump shots against the Heat. I think LeBron and D-Wade were on the bench, but I mean, they were still a pretty good team even without them. Melo just dropped 50 on all jumpers, and it's like, what? And it's like, in the moment, you watched it, and it's like, oh, Melo's on fire. But like years later, when you go back and look at the highlights, it's like, oh my God, this man was in a different type of zone. That's what this Kyrie stuff is giving to me. Like, it's giving those like golden Melo performances where it's like, oh, we're witnessing history, right? That's like the Bobcats game. Like, oh, the irony. Oh, because I covered both. The irony. I covered the Melo Bobcats game for 62, and I'm covering the Kyrie game for 50 against the Hornets. Same franchise. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wow, I witnessed both of that. Now, isn't that interesting? Whoa. That's kind of dope for me personally. It has nothing to do with y'all, but for me personally, in my internet legacy, I have covered some scoring performances, and it's always against Charlotte. It's always against Charlotte. Someone's getting a career high in front of Michael Jordan. It just happens. There's something about that area, something about the environment. Always happens. It always seems to happen, but that's not here or there. Do I feel bad for LaMelo Ball in them? No. Do I feel bad for LeVar? No. Do I feel bad for Scary Terry? No. Do I feel bad for Miles Bridges? Is it Miles Bridges? Whoever the dude is over there that does all the dunking, do I feel bad for him? No. Do I feel bad for Montrezl Harrell? No. I don't care. But again, in terms of the Titanic analogy, Kyrie said it's not finna happen. And basically went into the Avatar state and water bended the entire Titanic back up and got us away from the icebergs. That's basically what happened. He wouldn't allow it. This was a literal must-win. I don't know if I said it on this channel or my personal channel, maybe both. But if we would have lost last night's game, there is no amount of anything that could have convinced me personally that we had a chance of doing anything. But nice to see that them dudes are serious. Them dudes are focused. We got to boot one more game of Kyrie magic stuff before he legally can't play again. So let's make sure we get it all out the way. Ooh, Kyrie's amazing. Oh, wait till he play a home game. But it's fun to watch, and in those exact moments where we get a dub, the answer is a dub. I'm here for it, and in away games, people better be ready. That's the sum up, because we can't keep that energy at a home game, but that's not the end of that. Hopefully, Kevin Durant's going to snap out of this, because we don't need him after the Philly game, but that's not even there. I believe the Hornets were 8th, right? And we were like tied for 9th with the Hawks, or were we tied for 8th? Yeah, because the Hawks keep losing, so I think we were tied for 8th. So I believe this like solidifies us in that 8th seed, which, is it nasty that we're battling for 8th? Absolutely. But like for like a personal thing, personal pride, I think we would all agree that making sure that we make the OG playoffs is like a personal thing. It's like when you win your division, it's like no one really cares. Like, oh, it's home court advantage. No one really cares. But it's like, personally, you feel good about that. So, like, if we make the OG playoff format, I feel better about that, and I say this wasn't a complete L of a season. Personally, I'm okay with that. We'd still be in the play-in, but at least, yeah. And who knows? Maybe this is the start of something new. And I'm not trying to summon Troy and Gabrielle on some High School Musical, but like maybe this is the start of something new. And it feels so right being here with you. And now looking in your eyes, I can tell it's time. The start of something new. The start of something new. The start of something new. Perhaps. And maybe the Nets are going to have a complete turn and they'll just be incredible. Drummond is going to consistently be amazing on both sides of the court. Curry's going to hit an open shot consistently. Like, Kevin Durant has seen that his best friend is going off like this, and he's going to want a slice of the pie too. And we will destroy Philly. Maybe. I don't know. But it's hard to doubt with the talent on our team that we don't take this energy and transfer it into newer games. Do we like climb the rankings like that? Probably not, but at least we're in a higher position to where maybe we can avoid the play-in, like just barely, like how the Hawks did last year, like we just barely avoid the play-in. I think that would be dope, because I'm not looking forward to that. I don't like where there's opportunities for us to not make the playoffs, period. That makes me uncomfortable. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. We've just got one heck of a game coming up, and if Kyrie's in this type of mindset, Kevin Durant's already mad at Hart. Well, he said you can't blame him. And also, shout out to Kevin Durant, because Kevin has just been really just breaking the fourth wall all season. There's an interview that he did last night in the post-game sound. I don't know if the Nets left it in their like YouTube aspect of it, but it's on Twitter. Again, Twitter findings here. Where Kevin Durant basically acknowledged that there wasn't much the Nets could have done to keep Harden, which that part is trash, because there's nothing that legally said you had to trade him, so that's aspect one. But as far as like a mentality aspect, if he was just trying to get out by any means, it's nice to hear the players say that, because it's like, with all this, oh God, I don't want us to get canceled. Let me word this perfectly politically correct, and then I will go off on my personal channel. But here on Nets Republic, we're going to keep it squeaky clean with the conspiracy theories. In a time where scrutiny of players and narratives are being villainized and weaponized, some rightly so and some not so much, it's nice when the players come out and acknowledge things, because things can get very one-sided. So in this aspect, it's nice that KD acknowledged that, yeah, that man been trying to get out. What were we supposed to do? It's good to hear that from the players, because it's like, we're just assuming things, but if you don't confirm it, y'all just make us look like conspiracy theorists. So it's nice when they confirm things that we already know. Same thing with Ben Simmons interacting with us on social media and such. It's like, okay, good. Like, you are aware that these narratives aren't narratives. It's just what's happening, and we're just not stupid. So cool. that stuff is dope. I don't really think there's anything else of real substance to get to. It's just Kyrie dropped 50. And as I said previously, Kyrie playing well and us winning a game. Next time it happens, pure positivity, no slander. There's like moments of slander here and there, but no slander. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Amazing game. Keep that energy next game. Can't wait to see it. And we'll play highlights of this game when you can't legally play in the next home game. And we'll just be happy about that. And for those I'm not going to do it. I was going to say something else because people have been real spicy about the Nets lately. And I was going to call some people out, but I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it on Nets Republic. So yes, I will end it with the fact that we won, and I am happy in this exact moment in time. On to Philly. Jesus, take the wheel.